Get in where you fit in. Hey YouTube, I don't know where you at. I'm new to YouTube, so get in where you fit in. I'm getting ready to start this live read, baby. You might be kind of crooked, darling, but guess what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be, baby. Okay. So the purpose of me coming on do this live, I'm a little late because I announced it to be at 8 o'clock. We just gonna be quick at Facebook. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I announced that I was gonna do this live at 8 o'clock. Okay? At 8 o'clock. Okay? It is past 8 o'clock. I don't know what's going on with this phone. But guess what? It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Thank you.
No, my pleasure. You got the setting. It's too nice out here. Why not?
Uh-huh. Say hi, darlings. Say hola.
All right. Anytime.
Bien, gracias. Bien YouTube, bien Facebook.
Nice.
Alright, YouTube, I ain't got no problems with YouTube, but I'm looking at this Facebook. I'm trying to get this thing together, baby. I appreciate it.
No, my pleasure.
Okay.
Might have put a little too much on top real quick. So there's
Okay,
a little
no,
bit
that's
extra
fine.
in there too, okay?
Okay, I appreciate
Enjoy
it.
yourself, honey.
Thank you. Okay. The hell with this. You know what I say. It's going to be what it's going to be. All right. So I try to give y'all a little scenery in the background there. Okay. So tonight we're going to do this chapter read. So I'm introducing this book. It's coming out in December of 2018, y'all. And the purpose of my book is to talk about my journey as a federal employee in the workplace. For 16 years, I've been employed with the Social Security Administration in Falls Church, Virginia. And I quit. I just quit my job because I was just done. So I decided to write a book about all this shit that go on inside of the federal government, stuff that I seen, shit that I was a part of, in situations, you know, that was unheard of in my opinion. But people look at these agencies as being agencies to serve the public, but you can't serve the public when you're doing shit you ain't got no business in private. So I'm gonna share with you one of my chapters, my first chapter, and until December the 20th when my book dropped, I'm gonna share some other chapters leading up to the book launch date. So I hope you guys can hear me. All right. So the purpose of me writing the book is because there are a lot of unhappy employees in the workplace. And when we unhappy in the workplace, what we do is we go home, we vent about it, we get on the phone, we ride home, we talk about it and all this stuff. But we don't have a platform where we can use our voices to really be heard about, you know, what it is that we go through in the workplace. Why? Because we feel like ain't we gonna be underrepresented. We feel like ain't nobody really gonna solve the problem and managers is gonna win all the time. Because in a lot of cases, that's what happens. That is exactly what happens. You can't get past management because if you go the next level up, then that management got the other management back. So it's like you got to work at like Hebrew slaves, be degraded in the workplace, and don't nobody care. So that's why I wrote my book, because I care. Because I was an employee, I was treated that way, and I was tired of that shit. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on in it, baby. Right on in it, baby. So if this book can do something for y'all, let it do. If it can't, don't worry about it. You're going to get a couple of these chapter reads, but it's just going to be out there. It's going to be out there, and it's going to stay out there. And all of my form of expression, when I got to say something or want to write about something or express my opinion or my voice, I'm going to put it out there. It's going to be out there. I don't give a damn who purchased the book, who don't purchase the book, if it can do something for you, if it can't do something for you. But at the end of the day, my hopes is for the book that people speak up for themselves and stop letting managers bully them and jerk them around all the time. Go to work, do what it is you're supposed to do, try to change your focus and focus on the mission. Because these agencies, are designed to do one thing, and then you get messed up people that come in these agencies and make it something totally different. You just forget all about the mission because you're so caught up in all this other stuff that goes on. I'm trying to pull this document up so I can read it. It's having a hard time opening it. Okay. I'm with you, YouTube, and I'm with you, Facebook. I'm trying to figure out why it ain't opening. It don't want you to hear it. It don't want you to hear it. We 6 minutes into this video and I can't get my document to open. Word is not responding. Hold on, y'all. So I also have a platform on Facebook. If you guys want to join into conversations and join my blog, it is called I Hate My Job. So if you go to Facebook and like I Hate My Job, then you'll be able to engage in conversations. You can use that platform to hopefully publish your book one day after you gather so many words. So it's a platform where you can vent. This platform is not for people that's happy on their jobs. It's for people who is unhappy on their jobs. Only people who are happy on their jobs, they want to come on and share information about how to be healthy in the workplace because they experienced that and they've crossed over and they know how to manage themselves in the workplace. Then come on, feel free to come on and share some of the tips that you have with us so that we can be more productive and better in the workplace and know how to handle some of the situations that might come about. Feel free to come on, but this is not a platform just for you to come and be in la la land, because that's not a lot of people's life that's in the workplace. It's definitely not a lot of people's lives. It look like stuff ain't trying to happen tonight, y'all, because my document not trying to open. And I have no idea why not. Let me see. Let me disconnect this internet. I have no idea. Maybe something happened where they don't want y'all to hear what I had to say. Woo! Because I got word from my job, from insiders on my job. On my job, it ain't nothing you can talk about that people ain't gonna tell you about because they run their mouth like that. So let me tell you, on my job, since this book, I've been talking about this book release, people been coming out telling me little stuff about people being mad about my book because they worried about it, about shit that I don't know about that's going on in there. I don't work there. I don't know what's going on in there. My book ain't got shit to do with you being in the court. But if you in court, if the government is in court for something or an entity of the government is in court, my book ain't got shit to do with it. The reason your asses is in court ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I wrote this book, okay? So stop being scared about what I wrote in the book. What I wrote in the book was my personal journey while I was an employee there. And if you are caught up in my motherfucking story in a negative way, then your ass is in the book that way, okay? If I didn't mess with you and you're part of my story and it's in a negative way, then that's how you going down in the book. And that's the bottom line. So ain't no need of you worrying about what I put in the book because the simple fact, my story is in the book. I have nothing to do with anything that's happening on any political platforms. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared now. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Not a damn thing. So when I hear rumors on my job, I'm going to talk about it. Because don't put me in it. Because it's not going to stop my show. You do what you're supposed to do, then you ain't got to worry about it. Okay, so we're going to jump right in it. So first I'm going to read to you a little paragraph about, I'm going to read to you a paragraph prior to chapter 1. I hope y'all got y'all drinks, baby. All right, let me take this sip. Y'all ready for this? Blah, 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 blah was all I heard while holding up my right hand and saying I do. That was the day I was sworn into duty as a civilian federal employee. I don't even remember what the fuck I was repeating. Why did? Because I thought I was about to live the dream. The dream I always had about sitting behind my own desk, having my own computer and phone, being surrounded with professionals and ending up in a professional position myself, dressing the part and looking important. Well, that's all I eventually got was a look, because looking, feeling, and being are three very different things and should always be naturally in sync. I did not realize I was being sworn into misery and as a student to learn some of life's awful but important lessons. I don't care what you do in life. Life will constantly be teaching you something for your own good if you decide to learn. Chapter 1, Orientation. Welcome to social insecurity. We are glad you decided to join our workforce and work with us. You have certainly made a great career choice. Here is where we work as a team to get the job done, processing thousands of claims daily. Overall, Social Insecurity Administration services millions of Americans, and we thank you for wanting to help make the difference in the lives of others. Here at the Disability Appeals and Review Office, we work diligently processing thousands of appeals claims. You will learn a lot here, and opportunities will always come available. We'll talk about that later. At Social Insecurity, you can expect to work in a comfortable family environment, and there are many benefits for you to enjoy that we will go over and discuss with you later during the orientation. First, when I call your name, just raise your hand and I will hand you a folder with your paperwork, job assignment, floor location, and room number. Next, you will be fingerprinted. Complete the rest of your paperwork and have your picture taken in order to gain access into the building. We have restaurants in the area that you can visit during your lunch break. We also have a cafeteria on the second floor, as well as a credit union on the fifth floor. Feel free to ask any questions that you may have during the orientation. Well, everyone seems so excited. For me, I felt like I was breathing a breath of fresh air. The fresh air that I was breathing made me feel like now, finally, I would gain the respect of my family and others for exceeding their expectations of me anyway, such as their expectations of me not being shit, never amounting to nothing, being a go-go dancer, or whore prostitute and subscribed to be my mother, or simply being a drug addict. I began to live up to all those expectations at one point, except the whore part. I guess the drug overdose of my mother was my drug prevention. I only went so far with that and then stopped. 15 years old is when everyone had given up on me. And then I joined in and decided to give up on myself. The federal hire was my in-your-face type of shit that I enjoyed at the time. I all of a sudden got respect from individuals who just simply did not have any respect for me. Fake bitches. It wasn't real respect. It was kind of like jealousy respect. Just to get friendly and close enough to wonder and ask, how did you get that job? Can I help you get a job there? Can you help me get a job there? Can you help me get a check? Or can you check on my check? These were some of the requests asked of me by family and friends soon after I became employed. I must admit, I was kind of amused, and I liked what being employed by the federal government brought me feeling-wise, not knowing at the time I was recruited and sworn into pure misery. I was surprised at how just a mere association with a title of a job would bring you little respect. I attracted myself to the wrong place. I got just what I asked for. I requested to be placed with what I was and probably with what I deserved at that particular time. I now know that the universe responds to you such as a magnet attract other magnetic energies. Even when I thought I was winning, The feeling from that was only temporary and incremental because I now know I was not lined up correctly. I possess superficial happiness living from external means, which only the ego appreciates. A great thing about me is I do not live as highly as egotistical on the level of some folk, so that benefited me in life. So what had happened was I wound up around the wrong folk with the wrong energies that I truly misjudged like a fool when I first met some of the managers and employees. I saw them and credited them as being professional, sweet, nice, etc. It was like meeting some of the managers and employees there was love at first sight. They smiled and appeared to be so cool, so I thought. In hindsight, I now know that those smiles were about the fun that they were about to have with us, fresh batch of newly hired meat. They probably became a little excited knowing that the new games of causing havoc among new employees was about to begin again. I felt like I was in a different version of the Hunger Games. The victimized employees before us were tamed already, so they only can just participate in keeping the drama alive, keeping the tension off themselves, and wiping a happy look off at least my face with every horrible experience they would share with me that they said they have encountered during their tenure. I was just simply thinking to myself, they just hating because we are new and they never moved up, so they bitter. But on the flip side of that thought, supervisors will see you talking or associating with certain employees and tell you shit about staying away from them and that the reason they never got anywhere is because they were trouble. I told myself I would never get involved with anything negative on the job. It wasn't anything positive in my proximity that I could even had attached myself to. The light stayed away from the dark, and the dark didn't want any light. They were all separated in the building, and that's why I never knew who the light was or where they were. I only got highly camouflaged looking positive people who can shapeshift at the drop of a dime. Ooh, them shapeshift bitches were damn good. Especially the ones who had been there for years and had their names dragged through the mud. The stories that I heard and that were shared with me while I was there about some of the highly paid and most respected individuals on the job was shocking. Stories about how they slept around, how they did what they did to get what they got. Sometimes you got to be careful wanting what others have because you don't necessarily know what they had to do to get it. I should have known something wasn't right when I first got there. I would see some managers who would come to work dressed very professional, and other managers would come to work dressed like hookers and halter tops, and fat hanging out of both sides of their jeans, wearing platform shoes, hoop earrings, and shit like that. I don't know who made the 30s the new 20s, or the 50 the new 30s, etc., etc. I used to think and say to myself, hell nah, your asses are AARP at age 50. And regardless of the outfit you choose to wear daily, any premiums in life you have to pay based on your age, your asses will pay. Only a lunatic would think they look good rocking 16-year-old high school fashions past age 25. There was no dress code, so employees can come to work dressed however they damn well please. Boy, oh boy, my whole respect world was turned upside down, and my respect level was beginning to become unbalanced. Them bitches made my head spin, and after about a good 6 months on the job, I didn't know if I was going or coming. I didn't know who to trust, what to think, or what to believe until I was pretty much initiated and allowed into the dark side of knowing some managers and longtime employees personally through other co-workers and co-subordinates. It was like you almost had to demonstrate that you was fucked up yourself, reveal some dirt on yourself, be what they would consider down to earth, just another name for hood or shit, just for them to see that you are one of them. Just think, I was wasting my fucking time trying to act all proper and professional and shit. They didn't want that around them. And once I made it past all that, some old timer had to say I was cool or some shit like that. Or either I had been tested by them or had my own work dirt slung on me just so I can fit in. That's where the control tries to begin to take place. When they get something on you, you get in trouble on a job, or they feel like there's some similarities between you and their associates/associations, they got you. The picture became clear, and I actually saw this shit for myself once I made it past their initiation association requirements. I didn't need rumors anymore because I was in. I was able to witness firsthand what had been said to me via the rumors, and I had to pretend with motherfuckers in areas where I truly didn't fit in order for them to show me more. I couldn't believe it. So that's going to conclude part of chapter 1. That's just the beginning of chapter 1. Right after that, it's going to talk about my early years there. So the book goes into a whole lot of stuff that goes on in the federal government, and I like to link it to what slows down the process and the paperwork to the public. Now, in my book, shit gets deep because I talk about how work was hidden from employees in order to prevent them from working at home. So, Social Security Administration is a public service agency that people rely on for their livelihood. Now, why the fuck would you take somebody's life and stick it in a drawer just to get back at an employee and make these people wait even longer? Like, they don't think. So, people die in the process of not getting those benefits. People commit suicide in the process and not getting those benefits. People get sicker in the process of not getting those benefits. People get new illnesses add on from worrying about their current life, added on to their file, then have to send that shit to us because they so worried, and that got to be tacked on because they worried about not getting their benefits. But if you know the shit that go on behind closed doors, you would be upset if you were somebody receiving benefits. As an employee, I was upset. But in the beginning, I wasn't thinking like that. I was having fun, ripping and running around with everybody, doing what everybody did. But I was new, so I'm picking up on the old behaviors. Hey, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I got out. I feel like if you're not going to be part of the solution, then you part of the problem. But a whole lot of shit going in. Believe me, when I tell you my shit's so deep that I got people pissed off at me on the job. Okay? And I'm about to block their ass off my Facebook. Because when I left, I wasn't thinking. Ain't nobody request to be my motherfucking friend on Facebook. So why the fuck you looking to be my friend now? Oh, because you heard I wrote a fucking book. I'm gonna block bitches. Okay? I'm gonna block them. You want the book? Go find the motherfucking book. But you don't need to be my friend because you wasn't my friend in real life, so there's no need to be my virtual friend for pretend, okay? But yeah, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to reveal some shit, and if shit wasn't right, I'm going to tell it, yeah. And if you in a position that you know you did something wrong, oh yeah, don't forget, I still got all your information of the shit that people who was privy to privacy. I got all the names and the information, the stories you told me, and if them people knew that you told me them stories, they would know who it come from because you told me and you also showed me. Yeah, I remember the blue folders, okay? So fuck with me, and it will be as public can get, okay? So I advise you, get the book, be entertained, and leave me alone if you work with me and you got a problem with me. Okay, for everybody else, enjoy the good read, make a life for yourself, okay? Do what you're supposed to do when you go to work, and refocus when you go to work. And don't let that office bullshit get you down. Just refocus, okay? And then I share tips about some things that you can do. I share some resources, some outside resources about work-related stress, and there are people out here talking about it. So employees, have a voice, talk about what you don't like. Don't go home and talk about it and take that garbage in your house and then be all stressed. Don't be on the phone talking about it. Don't dread going to work the next day. Use my platform to talk about it. Until next time, stay tuned and listen out for some more chapter reads. If you're interested in the book, if you're interested in some more reads, just leave a comment in the box below, and then I'll come back to you. If I get enough comments, I'm going to come back to you sooner than you think. Have a good night. Okay, Facebook. You turn this shit off.